Hi guys, so I am going to be reading chapter 19 today of Percy Jackson, the Olympians, the Chalice of the Gods. This is what the American cover at least looks like. And like I said, it's chapter 19 and that is called, oh, this one's so funny. I Taste the Rainbow, and it's pretty nasty. And I'm loving these chapter titles. I really haven't talked about this much, but it really just gives me so much nostalgia for the original series. And oh my goodness, I love it. I'm loving this book so far, and I'm so excited to continue to read this with you guys. So let's get started. Just a little disclaimer: if you've never heard me read, I'm terrible at reading, and I will make mistakes. But we're gonna have a good time together, and I'm going to be recording my reactions. That's it. Okay, let's have a good time. This also helps me, so I feel like I'm getting something accomplished, even though I'm not. But I feel like I am. So it helps me get out of my reading slump. So sometimes I just record me reading. Okay, that's a little disclaimer, but we'll have a good time. Okay, now let's get started. I can now cross skipping through a field while making rainbows off my bucket list. By the time I got out of the river, a few hundred yards downstream, Grover was playing his song of Last Resort. Distant strains of YMCA echoed through the cavern. I knew this was a signal that he was running out of energy and breath, because when somebody plays YMCA, it is simply always a cry for help. Oh my gosh. Annabeth had instructed me to skip through the fields while holding Iris's staff. She was pretty sure this would create a beautiful rainbow, which would draw the serpent's attention with a high level of, ooh, pretty. Meanwhile, she would turn invisible while Grover and escort him to safety, tossing snake piggies as needed to keep the serpent away from them. And if I can't get the staff to work? I asked. I have faith, Annabeth said. I was pretty sure she was trying not to laugh. And if I can't lose the serpent once they're following me, just shut off the rainbow, she said. Once you go dark, you should be fine. And whatever you do, don't stop skipping. Oh, being a good soldier, I did what she told me. As soon as I trudged out of the river, I put my shoes and socks, which had washed up, in a nearby clump of reeds, and started skipping through the grass. That lasted about 10 feet, and I realized Annabeth must have been trolling me. I could run a lot faster than I could skip. I doubted the staff would care. I took off across the fields. Sure enough, after only a few steps, the staff began to glow. Shimmering ribbons of light unfurled from the celestial bronze headpiece, glowing brighter the longer I ran. Soon I was trailing a 50-foot gossamer rainbow, making the fields glow as all the colors of the crayon box. I had a flashback to when I was a kid, like actually a kid, not last week at heebie-jeebies. My mom had taken me to the east meadow of Central Park to fly a kite for the ning with delight as my big blue nylon octopus rose into the air. It kind of made me sad thinking how long ago that was, and also how the kite had gotten zapped by lightning in the middle of a sunny day as soon as it was airborne. Even back then, before I knew I was a demigod, Zeus had been watching me, because that's what you do when you're the king of the gods. You spend your valuable time being as petty as possible, frying forbidden kids' kites out of the sky for fun. Oh my. Anyway, it felt good to have another chance. I sprinted on, holding up the staff, filing the cavern with my one-man rainbow parade. It wasn't long before I heard the sounds of rustling and hissing in the grass behind me. Snakes, lots of them, were closing in, excited to follow the "ooh, pretty" and eat whatever was causing it. That thought helped me run faster. After another 100 yards or so, I made the mistake of glancing back. The entire field was crashing toward me like a surfer's wave, the grass collapsing under the weight of thousands of slithering serpents. Somewhere in the distance, Grover's music faltered to stop of the Y of YMCA. I hoped that meant he was safe and Annabeth was now escorting him out of the cave. If I could just keep running for a while longer, I could shut off the rainbow and veer back towards the mouth of the cave. Hold on. Where was the mouth of the cave? A bit too late, I realized I'd lost my bearings. I was up to my eyeballs in grass and no other landmarks in sight. All I could hear was the rambling of the horned serpent Balatin behind me. I assumed I was still heading west, directly away from the river, but I couldn't be sure. The rainbow light was playing tricks on my eyes, and my growing sense of panic wasn't helping me think. I started veering right, hoping I could lead the snakes in a wide arc back towards the river. I didn't factor in how tired I was, though. Exploding the river Ellison had taken a lot of energy. My legs were getting heavy, my lungs burned. I was losing speed, the snakes were closing in. So naturally, I chose the moment to trip on a rock. I bit the dirt. My ankle screamed in pain. Even after enduring sword wounds, acid burns, fiery dragon breath, it's a bummer how much normal things like twisted ankles can hurt. When I tried to stand, it felt like steel spikes were shooting up my leg. I hobbled a few more feet, using the staff to support my weight, but I was now a slow-moving target. The snakes swarmed me. I staggered the nearest outcropping of rocks and started to climb, so at least I could see the serpents. When I reached the top, I wasn't happy about the view. The sea of snakes completely surrounded my previous resting place. My eyes gleamed red in the light. Oh, their eyes gleamed red in the light of the iris staff. Their horns, oh, that is scary. Their horns were terrifyingly adorable, little pink and white hooks shaped like goalposts. As the serpents closed in, admiring the rainbow light, their mouths all opened on cue, red throats hissing, black tongues flickering to taste the air. Oh my goodness. Their tones said, "Yum." "Hey," I said weakly, "can we talk about this?" They hissed back at me, "Yum, yum." I I wondered if I should draw my sword. Answer, no. There were too many of them. Besides, if I attacked, this quest would become cruelty unfree, and even if I escaped, it would all have been for nothing. Also, I'd probably die anyway. I hoped Grover and Annabeth got away at least. I hoped Ellison would enjoy his nice, clean river. Okay. The light from the staff seemed the only thing stopping the snakes from attacking. The headpiece still pulsed with rainbow energy. The serpent's eyes stayed fixed on it, entranced. I was so tired I could barely keep my balance. I had a feeling that if I stumbled, the staff would stop glowing. Then I would be a buffet lunch. But I had to try something. I raised my staff. The rainbow brightened. The heads of 1,000 serpents rose with it. I waved the staff back and forth. The snakes all followed the light, shaking their heads no. I moved the staff up and down. The sea of snakes nodded along like cats following a laser dot. I suppressed a hysterical giggle. I was about to get eaten by horned serpents, but at least I was having fun with. Okay, Percy. I hadn't. I couldn't stand on these rocks forever, waving a magic stick. Eventually, I could get tired, or the snakes would get bored. Then the snakes would swarm the rock and bite me to death because my rainbow was so pretty. I didn't want to wait for Annabeth and Grover to try to rescue me either. I couldn't imagine how they could distract so many serpents without getting themselves killed. I thought about the plans Annabeth and I had made about college and beyond. I thought about all the things I wanted to tell her. I wished I could at least let her know how much I loved her. Suddenly I felt lighter on my feet. The pressure eased my twisted ankle. I was raising the staff so high it was pulling my arm out of its socket. And I asked myself, Percy, why are you doing that? I don't know, I answered, because I am not very helpful when I talk to myself. Oh. Oh, I miss Percy. Okay, I'm really happy this book came out. The snakes watched in fascination as the rainbow grew brighter. I found myself on my tiptoes, desperately trying to keep a grip on Iris's staff. Finally, I realized I wasn't lifting the staff. The staff was lifting me. My first thought was why. My second thought was, wait a minute, this is a messenger staff. Don't messengers God fly through the air delivering messages? Just before the staff had started pulling me upward, I'd been thinking how much I wanted to tell Annabeth I loved her. That was the message. Oh, that's so sweet. I held on with both hands. Take me to Annabeth, I told the staff. My feet left the rocks, and I rose slowly into the dank, dark air. Below me, the snakes watched in amazement. Farewell, my friends, I told them. Be good to one another. I ascended. I wondered if I was leaving the snakes with a new religion. They would tell stories of future generations of how a strange rainbow god boy was tripped a lot before returning to heaven. Or maybe they just were thinking that kid is really weird. As I picked up speed, the rainbow shimmered around me, engulfing me in light. My insides twisted, my limbs lost their substance. I wasn't just flying inside the rainbow, I was becoming part of it, which sounded a lot cooler than it felt. As the molecules in my body dissolved in energy, my consciousness elongated, like I existed at each point along the arc of my journey simultaneously. And yet I still had my physical senses. Don't ask me why, but the light spectrum tasted like copper. It smelled like burning plastic. I began to wonder if this was why Iris had gotten so tired of her messenger job and started a business where she could burn incense and apply essential oils. I rematerialized at the mouth of the cave, right next to Annabeth and Grover. My satyr buddy was wheezing and clutching his knees, but he looked unharmed. Greetings, Earthlings, I said. Annabeth nearly leaped out of her shoes. What? How? She's cute when she's startled. It doesn't happen very often, so I have to enjoy it when it does. I have a message for Annabeth Chase, I said. I love you. I tried to give her a kiss, but it was difficult because she started laughing. Okay, I get it, she said, pushing me away gently. Messenger staff, nice work. Yeah, I totally planned it. You totally had no idea. Just because you're right doesn't mean I don't resent it. She kissed me back. I love you too, seaweed brain. Grover cleared his throat. I'm fine, thanks. Love you too, G-Man. What? I assured him that was some fine panpiping. He tried to look grumpy, but for the way his ears reddened, I could tell he was secretly pleased. Let's just go back to Manhattan before things get weird, he insisted. He hesitated. Oh, I mean, even weirder. Going back on the train, he looked like three normal kids that had been rolling around in a muddy field in Yonkers all day, except I was carrying the cleanest, shiniest staff in the universe. And every time I burped, I let out a little cloud of violet. Oh, that is weird. A little cloud of violet or charred. Okay. That's the way of ending the chapter. Okay. I really liked that. That was cute and sweet. And I love Percy Jackson. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I don't know if I'll ever post these, but if I do, you now watched me embarrass myself by being bad at reading. But that's it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I love you all 2000, and please stay safe. Bye, guys.